Good morning, folks. Hope everybody's having a good day. Whatever day you might be seeing this, it's Friday for me. So if it's Friday for you, happy Friday. I've been kind of struggling with the direction of this video. And the reason is because I'm talking about an in-between day. What is an in-between day? Well, an in-between day is a day that's not a good day and it's not a bad day. I referenced it in a previous video when I said the point of this channel was to show the good days, the bad days, and anything in between. What is an in-between day? Obviously, it's not a good day or a bad day. Good days and bad days are subjective to whoever's day it is. But what is an in-between day? Is it a day that's like kind of good, kind of bad, or a day that's like neither of them and you're just kind of like existing and like floating through life? For me, right now, an in-between day feels like I'm just kind of floating through life at the moment. And the reason for the in-between day, which is more like an in-between 2 weeks, is because I've had my privileges revoked for the next couple weeks. I had surgery on both ears earlier this week, and during the recovery period, I am not allowed to lift. I'm not allowed to run. I can't even pick up my own kid. I can't do physical activities that would overexert myself so it doesn't re-damage what the doc went in to fix. And those days kind of like mess with my head a little bit, because it's like I spend so much time and I put so much effort into progress and moving forward and getting better and doing a good job and trying to do my best at everything that I come in contact with. And now I don't know how to do that if it's not physical or it's not work. So I can't work either for the rest of this week. Well, I can, but my boss told me to take the week and the doctor recommended I take the week too. Which is cool. But again, it gives me all kinds of free time that I'm not used to having. And I know some people would be like, oh man, free time, I'm going to sleep in and I'm going to do this and this. I don't sleep in. I don't watch a lot of TV. My days are usually packed from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. And I either go to the gym before work and before my kid wakes up. I skate out during a lunch break to get a really quick workout in, or I do what I got to do after my kid goes to sleep. And I don't have time to just like sit around and like do nothing. And that is precisely what I'm supposed to do this week, is sit around and like do nothing. I don't know. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. And it does this like weird, like mental trick on me where it's like, I feel like I'm falling backwards. And I don't know if you can relate to that or if anybody that watches this can relate to that, but it's like, it's almost like I feel like I'm slipping backwards down a hill that I just spent months trying to climb up, right? All of a sudden I hit a patch of ice and now I'm starting to slip backwards. I know that's not the case. And I know that sounds probably kind of crazy. But the space that I live in is either moving forwards or you're falling backwards. And I don't know if that's a healthy way to look at things. I don't know if that's a healthy way to go through your life. For me, keeping things at that intense of a level of you're either getting better and you're moving forward or you're getting worse and you're moving backwards, keeping things at that intense of a perspective is what helps me continue to move forward. Like when I've kicked vices in the past, in my head, I made it a life and death situation. I'm like, this needs to stop or you are going to find yourself ran all out of time. And I think because I keep that intense of a perspective on things, it's got me sitting here this week like, man, what the hell am I supposed to do? Can't work, can't lift, can't run, can't do the things that I normally would do. So like, now what? So I've been trying to fill my time with journaling. I started writing stuff down again. I wanted to make videos to, put stuff out there for, whoever wants to see it. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a blessing and a curse kind of, because being forced to slow down has made me have to think about stuff. Um, it's made me think deeper about stuff that I don't a lot of times have time to think deeper about. Um, and in a weird way, I'm really grateful for this in between day. I'm really grateful for, I don't want to call it a struggle because it's not a struggle, but I'm grateful for the position that I'm in currently, uh, because it's making me reevaluate the mentality that I have at all, most days. Um, and while right now I'm sitting here like, what am I supposed to do? I can't work out. Well, okay, write stuff down. Whatever's in your head, write it down on paper. Make a video. Um, go for a walk. Read a book. Stuff that I normally want to do because I do like to read. I don't get a lot of time to do it. But hello again. Sorry about that. Recording cut out during the end of that first video. I don't want it to get too long, but I do have a couple more things that I want to touch on for this video. In the first part, I made mention of keeping an intense perspective, or maybe I said intense mentality about different things for myself to, make sure that I'm making progress forward. And that being one of the ways that I continue being able to make progress and stay on the straight and narrow. So we could also call that having a chip on my shoulder, or having a chip on your shoulder. I know a lot of people think that's not a good thing. And I suppose in certain circumstances it is. Like, if you're a person who the chip that you keep on your shoulder is feeling like you need to, like, be the badass every time, or you need to like beat somebody up all the time. That is not good. That is objectively not a good way to go about your day. For me, it's different. And I know for a lot of people, it might be different. When I say I keep a chip on my shoulder, it's to keep myself in check. It's to keep myself in line. I've mentioned before that I have a lot of inadequacies, or I feel as though I am inadequate in many ways. And because I keep that in mind all the time, that's where that chip on my shoulder comes from, or whatever saying you want. But that's where that comes from. And that's why this in-between week, or these in-between days, whatever, that's why they're kind of difficult. Because, like I've mentioned before, not feeling smart enough or strong enough or whatever it is enough. When I can't do things to support that mission, then it feels like I'm doing things to hurt that mission. Even if I'm just like sitting in the house trying to recover because that's what I need to do in order to be able to get back to it in a couple weeks, it still feels like I'm letting myself down. Even though I'm not, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to. But because I keep that in mind all the time, that's why it feels like I need to be doing more, or I'm missing something, or I'm forgetting something. And I've lived my life like that for quite a while. I keep myself, I keep an intense kind of mentality for that reason. Because it doesn't take much for me to fall off. And when I fall off for like a long time, like several months. And I fall off like in all ways: diet, alcohol, training, um, the example that I'm setting at home. Like, so that's why I have to keep it the way I do. And that's why these days feel unnecessary, and they feel like, man, you're effing up. You're effing up again. You're going to be right back where you dug yourself out of. And I'm aware that that might not be the best way to do that. It works for me right now. One day it might be different. Um, I think there's a time and place to give yourself some grace and to be nice to yourself and to positive talk yourself. But I also think there's a time and place to call a spade and call yourself out on your own shit, which is where I try to live. That's where I try to live, is keeping myself honest to what I know I'm supposed to be doing. So enough about that. I think altogether we're coming up on like 10 minutes here, and listening to me talk for a whole 10 minutes is probably kind of difficult for some people. But the last thing I wanted to hit on here is the folks who have been subscribing. I just want to say that I very, very much appreciate you guys. I attempted to do this whole YouTube thing like several years ago. And I made one video. It was awful. It has since been taken down. I started a podcast a few years ago that I was putting on YouTube. I did not like the way that started out. I really think I started out on the wrong foot. It had potential, but the method in which I was going about creating those episodes was leading to a problem I already had becoming worse. And I might go into that in a later video, but was very unimpressed with how that started out. So those have since been taken down as well. Starting out this time, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I've maintained the idea that I don't care if a lot of people watch. I don't care if a lot of people follow along, but I want the right people to follow along. The people who are actually going to benefit or actually are benefiting from the things that I have to say and show. You guys are the ones that I want to show up and to stick around. I'm trying to be relatable for you guys. I'm trying to share thoughts that I've had in different things that have affected me that I think or hope other people can kind of resonate with. As of the making of this video, I've got 89 subscribers. Is that a lot? No, it's not. But every single one of you guys matter to me. Every single one of you guys are important to me. We're closing in on 100. And while that's maybe not that many in the grand scheme of YouTube, when I think about that, I think of a crowd of 100 people. Think about, you walk past a crowd of 100 people. That's a shitload of people when you're in public with them, right? That's what I think of. I'm like, dude, there's like a small auditorium of people that are interested in what I have to say. And to me, that's really cool. That's really cool. And I am grateful for every one of you. And I thank every one of you. And I hope you guys continue to stick around. And I hope more people who can benefit from my message will show up as well. This is, I'm not growing fast. The channel's not growing fast, I wouldn't say, but it is growing. And to me, that tells me that there are people that need to hear what I have to say. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. And don't let your in-between days completely ruin all the progress you've made. Don't let the in-between days mess you up upstairs. Because the in-between days will be over. They will end at some point, just like anything that's hard eventually ends. But while you're in your in-between days, however you fill your time, make sure you do it the best way that you can. Love y'all. Brando out.